Johnny Galecki became a household name as Leonard Hofstadter, the lovable physicist from The Big Bang Theory. With his awkward charm, emotional honesty, and unforgettable romance with Penny, Leonard quickly became one of television's most beloved characters. For over a decade, audiences connected with the shy scientist who always seemed caught between genius-level intellect and everyday insecurity. But behind the glasses in comic book debates was an actor whose own story proved just as fascinating. From childhood fame to life after one of television's biggest sitcoms, Johnny Galecki's journey reveals a quieter, more grounded side of Hollywood success. Born on April 30, 1975, in Belgium, Johnny Galecki spent most of his childhood growing up in the United States. Acting entered his life early, and it quickly became clear that he had natural talent in front of the camera. Long before audiences knew him as Leonard Hofstadter, Galecki appeared in films like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Those early experiences shaped him both professionally and personally, teaching him discipline while exposing him to the pressures of fame at a young age. Unlike many child actors who struggled with Hollywood's demands, Galecki maintained a grounded personality. He focused on improving his craft rather than chasing celebrity status. That steady approach would eventually prepare him for the role that changed his life forever. Everything shifted in 2007 when Galecki was cast as Leonard Hofstadter in The Big Bang Theory. Leonard was brilliant but socially awkward, deeply emotional yet constantly insecure. From the very beginning, audiences connected with him. The show exploded into a global phenomenon, running for 12 hugely successful seasons and turning its cast into international stars. What made Leonard special was not just the comedy. Beneath the scientific jokes and nerd culture references was a character filled with vulnerability and heart. Galecki balanced humor with emotional depth, making Leonard feel real instead of cartoonish. Viewers saw themselves in his insecurities, his romantic struggles, and his desire to be accepted. At the center of Leonard's journey was his relationship with Penny, played by Kaley Cuoco. Their romance became one of the defining storylines of the series. From awkward first dates to painful misunderstandings and emotional reconciliations, audiences followed every step of their complicated love story. Leonard's devotion to Penny gave the show many of its most heartfelt moments. He was never the stereotypical television hero. He was insecure, nervous, and often overthinking everything. Yet that vulnerability made him relatable. Galecki's performance allowed fans to genuinely feel Leonard's hope, frustration, and emotional growth throughout the series. Their relationship also helped redefine the image of the lovable geek on television. Leonard was intelligent and awkward, but he was also caring, loyal, and emotionally open. Audiences rooted for him because he felt authentic. Over time, Leonard Hofstadter became more than a sitcom character. He became a cultural symbol for people who often felt overlooked or misunderstood. As The Big Bang Theory continued dominating television, Leonard's popularity only grew stronger. Fans connected with his nerdy charm and emotional honesty. He represented the idea that intelligence and vulnerability could coexist, challenging traditional ideas about masculinity and confidence. Even years after the show ended, Leonard remains one of television's most recognizable characters. Streaming platforms continue introducing new audiences to the series, keeping his legacy alive for younger generations discovering the show for the first time. But while Leonard became frozen in pop culture history, Johnny Galecki himself was ready for something different. When The Big Bang Theory ended in 2019, many expected Galecki to immediately jump into major film projects or headline another television series. Instead, he chose a far quieter path. Rather than chasing the spotlight, he stepped back from Hollywood's non-stop attention and focused on projects that interested him personally and creatively. Galecki returned to theater work, reconnecting with the fundamentals of acting. Stage performances offered something television often could not: creative freedom, spontaneity, and artistic challenge. By taking on selective roles instead of blockbuster projects, he showed a desire to grow as an actor rather than simply remain tied to Leonard Hofstadter forever. That decision surprised some fans, but it revealed a deeper side of Galecki's personality. He seemed less interested in maintaining celebrity status and more focused on meaningful work and personal fulfillment. In an industry obsessed with constant visibility, his quieter approach stood out. At the same time, Galecki also became increasingly protective of his private life. Unlike many celebrities who remain highly active in the media, he deliberately stepped away from constant public exposure. While he still occasionally appears at reunions or fan events, he keeps much of his personal life away from cameras and headlines. That balance between fame and privacy became especially important after spending over a decade attached to one iconic role. Galecki has spoken about the emotional challenges that come with being permanently associated with a single character. For many actors, separating personal identity from a beloved television role can be difficult. By stepping back from the spotlight, Galecki created space for himself beyond Leonard Hofstadter. He focused on hobbies, personal relationships, and creative projects without the constant pressure of public attention. His approach highlights the importance of mental health and boundaries in an industry that often demands nonstop visibility. Fame may appear glamorous from the outside, but Galecki's experience shows how emotionally exhausting it can become over time. Constant recognition, fan expectations, and public scrutiny create pressures that many actors quietly struggle with behind the scenes. Instead of allowing fame to consume him, Galecki chose balance. That decision may be one of the most admirable parts of his story. Even today, Leonard Hofstadter's impact continues to resonate worldwide. Fans still revisit old episodes, quote iconic scenes, and celebrate the chemistry between Leonard and Penny. New viewers continue discovering the show through streaming platforms, proving that Leonard's awkward humor and emotional honesty remain timeless. Much of that lasting success comes down to Galecki's performance. He gave Leonard warmth, humanity, and relatability that turned a sitcom character into someone audiences genuinely cared about. Leonard was never perfect, and that imperfection became his greatest strength. Meanwhile, Johnny Galecki continues evolving quietly beyond the role that defined his career. Instead of desperately trying to escape Leonard's shadow, he has chosen to embrace the legacy while still building a life that feels authentic to him personally. His journey offers an important reminder about fame and identity. Success does not always mean chasing bigger headlines or remaining constantly visible. Sometimes it means finding peace, creative fulfillment, and personal happiness away from the spotlight. For fans, Leonard Hofstadter will always remain the lovable physicist searching for love and acceptance. But for Johnny Galecki, life after the Big Bang Theory has become something quieter and perhaps even more meaningful. His story is not one of dramatic scandals or shocking downfalls. Instead, it is a story about balance, growth, and learning how to move forward after becoming part of television history. While Leonard remains frozen in the hearts of millions, Galecki himself continues evolving as both an actor and a person. And honestly, that may be the most inspiring chapter of all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Prestige Buzz, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss an update from Prestige Buzz. Let us know in the comments what your favorite Leonard Hofstadter moment was, and stay tuned for more untold stories behind Hollywood's biggest stars.